Yo, how's it going, Grease Monkeys? Welcome back to the live stream. Today it is the final update of the Manufacturer's Cup rankings. Now, I've just changed my oil because we put my car through the absolute ringer over the last championship. I'm not too sure where we finished in the world. I haven't seen the rankings just yet. As you can see, I'm still yet to take my provisional reward from the season. Most of the races, it seemed like we had an average finish of about 5th or 4th place, so we should be somewhere in the mid-pack. But in terms of the season, this was definitely one of our better ones. We got a couple of races that were ruined by, sorry, just yawning. We got a couple of races that were bad by, getting into crashes and having to regain from the back, or someone interfering in a fight and we just bottle ourselves, or we just make a mistake ourselves and take ourselves out. But either way, now that all rounds have been completed, this series ranking has been decided. Rewards will be awarded to players who ranked with the designated top places, within the designated top places. So we got first in my local region. We did drop down quite a bit in the manufacturer and the region because we did rage quit from the last couple of races. But we were sitting in the top 25% for this, and we're still in the top 25% for the region. So we still got an alright result. This one, we weren't too far off 25%. I'm pretty sure 25% would have been 18th. So not a bad season at all. I'm not too disappointed in that. The results weren't exactly the best in terms of positional finish. But we managed to do a couple of things and we managed to bring it across the line in a podium finish or a win a couple of times. So it's not the English didn't work there for a second. It's not the worst I've done in the Manufacturers Cup. Could definitely do better, but we'll just have to do that the next time we see a Manufacturers Cup or Nations Cup, whichever comes next. I believe that they don't come for every 4 or 5 months though, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. But either way, in one of the updates, they brought out a few new vehicles that I have noticed. So that was something I was going to stream yesterday, but the Manufacturers Cup was a little bit more important. So one of the vehicles that they brought out was the Hyundai Elantra N, which is this one here. It is a Group 4 categorized car, I believe. And they've got the Xiao Mi SU7 Ultra, which is the only Chinese electric vehicle to grace Gran Turismo. And there is also the new variant of the Porsche 911, which is the 992 version. So we're going to go over to Brand Central and we're going to go buy a couple of those because we now have 3 million extra credits. And I also want to get my collector level a little bit higher. So we don't have much going on in the championships at the moment, so I think I might focus on 100%ing the game again, because I was kind of practicing knowing that the Manufacturers was coming up, and I completely forgot that the game actually has a campaign log. So I've done all the menus, but the extra menus and the missions are what I need to do. I'm 3 races away from getting all gold in the mission sector, and licenses, I've got 1 race left to do, I think. But either way, Porsche is over here. So it is the new 911. I believe it is a GT3 car. Yep, it's a... Yeah, that's a pretty car. That looks nice. I do like the 911s. Not all of them, but they do look good. This one definitely looks good as well. I like how the engine the engine's in the back. The bonnet, rather, just falls through the floor of the Porsche. Now, the last one was the RSR, which is this one, and this it came out in 2017, so it's almost 10 years old. So this is the one that the game has been running with for the past couple of years. It is alright, but I kind of want to see how this one goes. It's $900,000 for the price of it, which isn't too bad for the type of vehicle you're getting. I believe that's the only color combination. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and purchase that, and we've also got an EV to buy, which I don't think I would ever do in this game, but in terms of collector level, let's do it. Oh, and the fuel filler port is right in the front as well. It's a massive eyesore, to be honest, but is what it is. Right, let's switch to that, and we'll go over to, if you come over to the Asia Oceania section, you come down and you'll see China have brought out a new vehicle, which is the Xiao Mi SU7 Ultra, and it's got 1500 horsepower. So it is a very quick car. It's very, very fast. And it's EV, so all of that will be instant torque. Now it comes in 5 different color options. You've got the white, grey, green, black and yellow. I'm just going to stick with the yellow so that I know that it's an EV and I need to steer clear because it's got that warning color on it. I'm not a big fan of the I recognise it in logo. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere in my country. Maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of these on the road, but that's because it's a brand I don't know. I'm not going to switch to the electric just yet. I kind of want to give the I think we'll go do the online time trials a little bit, and then I'm going to muck around with some of the campaign log of this game. And the other vehicle was the Hyundai Elantra N, which is the... Is that the electric model as well? Is it an electric... No, okay, this is an engine. I was going to say, I didn't think it would be an electric race car, because there's permissions against that. So it's another M performance car. I believe it is... Yep, it's Group 4 categorized up here, with 618 power points and 350 brake horsepower. It is only $280,000 from, or credits from the store. Turbocharged vehicle as well, so pretty good vehicle. The Hyundais are actually pretty good. I've driven a couple of them as the Group 4 and the Group 3s. They're not too boaty, but they're really, really good for accelerating out of the corner quite quickly, especially in the mid RPM range from what I've noticed. Now, I didn't mean to switch to the car, but oh well. So those are the 3 cars that we got: the Porsche, Hyundai and Xiao Mi, which is the name, or is it Xiaomi? I never remember how it's meant to be pronounced, but those are the cars. Now, if you come over to the sports section, 2 of the new cars are also in the time trial sector, which is the Xiaomi around Monza, and the Hyundai Elantra around Nürburgring. So I don't think I'm going to do the Nürburgring just yet, because I'm still warming up for the day, and this track is a little bit easier. So I think we'll just muck around with this one and see what the fastest lap at the moment is a 1:45.4. which is pretty quick. So gold is 48.5 and above, silver is 50.6 and above, and bronze is 55.9 and above. So select from garage, yep, change car. And we'll come over to the Xiaomi and we'll go down to the track and see just how weird it is driving a Chinese electric vehicle in Gran Turismo. I've driven a couple of them in real life, because as some of you may be aware, I am a mechanic in real life. But in the game will be very different because, well, you're not driving a real car. But at the same time, it's real enough, you know. Just getting myself set up. My steering wheel isn't lined up with my pedals. I'm just working with a table and a dining room chair. So, rightio. Here we go. Let's jump in and see what we can do. There's only 1 gear as well, with it being electric, so you don't have to worry about changing gears. Wow, because the acceleration is so instant, you pretty much can't be steering. You'll steer wide instantly. It's so weird not hearing anything. I'm gonna brake early. Still didn't work. Fuck these. So I've already invalidated the time. Curve Grande, let's see how this goes. I'm not braking early enough. It's alright. It's only the first lap, so it's only one corner we missed, and it's one that's notorious for being overshot. You gotta brake so much. Oh yeah. Can you keep the tyres going? Oh, you can. Okay, so I believe it's rear-wheel drive as well, which is cool. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it definitely is. Oh wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of torque off the line. Okay. Oh, I gotta hold it down. That's right. People were complaining that reverse doesn't work on this car on some forums, but I think they forgot that in automatics, on steering wheels anyway, and controller sometimes, it's not just downshift and then accelerate if you have it in the manual config. You have to hold the downshift button instead. So brake at the 200 board, hard, brake quite hard, brake quite hard. Wow, I'm really not doing great at this, am I? Oh, okay. We only barely managed to make it around the track, but we've made it around the track the first time, so let's see what we can do. Or at least just start to come to grips with the car. Getting on the gas, well, sorry, getting on the battery opens the steering so much, so fast. Alright, Curva Grande is flat. It's a bit of a tricky car to drive, to be honest. I just completely missed my brake marker there. Okay, bit of a tricky car to handle. I'm also not exactly in the best driving style at the moment, funnily enough. Yeah, bit of a tricky car, but I think that's partly because of how instant the torque is, and I'm not too familiar with it. If I did a couple of laps, I could probably get used to it. I was starting to get a bit better there. Just kept making a mistake and invalidating the lap time. But it definitely is interesting. I bet it can make some real long straightaway races very interesting if you're doing real car races. Now this one is a lap time around the Nürburgring. I believe it's the 24-hour layout as well. Yeah, it is. And the gold time for this one is a 9-minute 4. So not super quick times, but at the same time that's quite fast around this track on a car that I don't even know. So we're going to take this car down to the track and we're going to give it a go, and we're going to see if we can do better on the Nürburgring in a Hyundai N, better than I did Monza in an electric vehicle. Just put ourselves to the test. That's what we do. We do electric vehicles and turbocharged vehicles on two very different tracks and see if I can drive one better than the other. That's all that racing is, so just testing yourself out. But yes, we've had a couple of good cars. I think I'm going to take the Porsche into... Oh wait, no, it's not a Group 3 race, is it? It's a Group 2. Might give that wet Suzuka race a go as well. Just mucking around with Gran Turismo today, to be honest. Probably going to move over to campaign missions though, rather than online races. Try and get myself a little bit more practice away from online lobbies and start tanking my rank like the manufacturer's cup has over the past couple of weeks. This is the steering is a lot looser than the Xiaomi I just drove. Oh, this is rear wheel drive. Alright, let's see what we can do. Or just find the track at least. Really? That was limits? Okay, that was not a bad lap at all for our second lap. That car is very, very stable, and I love the turbo. The turbo makes it really easy to pull it out of the corner one gear higher than you normally would, but it still gives you the same acceleration you would for getting that lower gear. It's actually really good. It's easy to rotate as well. I did have a couple of moments, but that second sector, everything was green. And it's put us 3,666th in the world with a 902.9. So not a bad lap time. Could have found more time in that as well. So not too disappointed in that, given that has put us in the gold category, which is going to be $2 million for us. Once the ranking registration period has ended, go to sport to obtain your reward. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's the new Hyundai and the Xiao Mi. They're very interesting cars. The EV is very easy to just understeer like crazy, just from going straight on. If you try and accelerate out of the corner just a little bit too early because of how instant that power is. And the Hyundai, you go one gear higher and you get the exact pull you want out of the corner, and it gives you the right amount of acceleration as well. You can rotate that car really, really easily. I like that car a lot. And it also makes the Nürburgring relatively easy, to be honest. But either way, I think we're going to mess around with missions, to be honest. Because we've got some that we need to do, particularly the wet races and... oh no, not wet races, we've got endurance races rather. So down here at the human comedy, I've almost completed it. I've got one more race to do, which is the Lake Maggiore circuit in Group 3 cars, I believe. But I also want to try and get gold in all of these. Now these are 1 hour endurance races. Some of them have tyre wear, some of them are fuel races, like this one here. This is a fuel race. And some of them are wet races, like this one here was a wet race on a drying track. And this one is not wet, but I believe is the reverse layout. No, it's the right. It's the normal layout. But it's got 4 times tyre wear and 3 times fuel rate. And to get to the front is very difficult. I believe we start at the back. Oh no, 16th out of 20. So I'm not too sure which one I want to do, to be honest. Actually, you know what? I think I am a little bit tired. I've been racing a little bit too much this week, and I kind of want to have a little bit of a break from streaming because the main focus did take it out of me. But those are the new cars. I'll do a quick Group 3 race in the 992 just to give it a feel, and just to give it a little bit of screen time on the Grease Monkey channel. And yeah. There is a Group 3 race at the moment. It's at Interlagos, I believe, so we'll jump into one of those. Alright, we've got 18 minutes until the actual race entry begins, so I'm going to see if there's a livery in this Porsche. I'm going to switch over to it actually. Let's change car. I just bought the Porsche, but I don't know where it is. There it is. Alright, I'm just going to do one race on Interlagos and then I'm going to log off because I'm a little bit tired from streaming this week, and I slept funny on my neck, so it's kind of in pain. So I kind of want to give that a little bit of a break as well, but we're still going to do at least one race. Oh, wait, content stage. I wonder if he's already made one. No, okay, no problem. Right. Just gonna unplug the mic for a little bit, chat. So, new car, the Porsche 911 992. It was recently released only yesterday on the 29th of January, or 30th of January rather. Now, my fastest lap on this track is in the Audi R8, a 134.6 lap. There was room for improvement, I believe, but I wasn't driving the fastest car on this track, so I'm going to do a couple of laps in this one and see how we go. You know the drill, I'm going to unplug my mic though. Okay, in my opinion, that actually wasn't too bad of a session. Had a little bit of a rocky first lap. Um, Actually, no, had two spins there, which was the one I just quit from now, and one on lap 3. But we ended up beating our best time by 7/10 of a second, just in five or so laps. So that's not bad at all. I'm actually pretty happy with that, to be honest. Not the fastest time I could have done. There was not the fastest time I could have done. There was more time in it. I just lost a replay because of that. But it still put us on par with most of the people in our lobbies at the moment, and it's also put us in a comfortable 8,000th in the world. Wow. Okay. That's fine. That's still a pretty good position given that it's the end of the week. I see a couple of 992s on the leaderboard at the moment, but it could also just be because it's a new car and people are mucking around with it. And there's some pretty fast people who are driving them. Jay Serrano, he's quick. He's won the World Series before. So is an Estrada, sorry, in 11th. I don't know their first names, but I do know that they normally compete overseas for the World Cup quite regularly. I see him on the leaderboard quite regularly as well. So these are all people that I expect to see putting this car on the top 100. But either way, given that we're only not even a tenth away from my fastest PSN friend, that's not too bad in my opinion. So I'm just going to unplug and chill for a bit before the race starts. This will be my only race for the day because I'm a bit tired, but either way, sit back and enjoy. Alright, so we've joined the lobby and we are only 2/10 of a second behind pole position, and third is not even a full tenth behind us. So we've got a bit of a tight lead gap here. Normally I was starting in third or fourth earlier on in the week, so I'm pretty happy that our pace has increased along with our lobbies. That's always a good sign. It doesn't have a display until warm-up finishes though, which is a bit interesting. But looking at the timings, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th are all within 3/10 of a second, so that's going to be a bit of a tight battle between them, which should slow them down and let me, 1st and 3rd, pull away from the rest. So we'll just focus on that for the race and keeping it on track. We only need to do 5 laps. Okay, pretty average, pretty stale race, but definitely a good result. Finishing second place, we didn't lose our position at all, and we did finish almost 8 seconds in front of third place, so it was a good finish. We weren't too far off the pace of first place. Through that middle sector, we're definitely faster. It was just tying it up with the rest of the track and making a couple of mistakes here and there, but honestly, not a bad result. I'm not disappointed in that. I don't think I'm going to be doing many more of those though, because I am definitely exhausted and my neck is very, very sore. So that's going to be it for today. I'll record the position and that's it. Alright, well that's going to do it for today's stream. Wasn't a very long one. Manufacturer's Cup kind of kicked my ass. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you want to see anything in particular, because I'm kind of running out of ideas on Gran Turismo, then leave them down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. But other than that, if you did like it, you know exactly what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, and make sure that the bell is on so you never miss one of these live streams. Trying to get back into the swing of things a lot more properly in 2026. I'm already seeing the love from you guys. I'm definitely seeing it, and I very much appreciate it. But other than that, I guess I'll just see you guys in the next live stream. Alright, peace out, Grease Monkeys.